Good morning, everybody. My name is Yolanda Roos. Welcome into my platform. This is a channel that is timeless messages for the collective. When it finds you, or if you're subscribed, it'll find you when you need to hear it. This channel is designed to be reading energy. So energy in your life is present, and we have the free will to choose it. So I have pulled and shuffled all the cards up, so all we can do or I should say, all we need to do is just speak about them, talk about them, and see what the universe, the spirit guides, and angels want you to know as a collective. So, grab your tea. It's usually about a half hour that we do this. So, I just want to explain in case there's new people in. Thank you for joining us. If you're coming back again, welcome in. This is a platform of non-judgment. I've pulled the cards from my oracle decks and tarot decks, and look at this as therapy. Look at this as suggestion. Nobody knows the future. I read energy. I am not a fortune teller. I connect with the guides, my higher self, monad/God. And this is designed to find you, to help you to think, to redo the programming, to want to be happy, joyful, and live a full life. Because there are things that we get told, or we get basically programmed into us. I'm trying to find the right words for you guys. We need to be who we feel in the deepness of our soul, not fight or flight feel. You know what turns you on, what makes you on fire, what makes you full of joy, passions. Sometimes life takes that from you. You know, you grow up. I always say the inner child is one of those ones that tells you really what puts you on fire. Because when you're younger, the programming hasn't totally been seeded into you. The what you're supposed to do, how you're supposed to act, this is how it's supposed to be, hasn't really taken place completely. You start learning it, and you start having repercussions if you don't do what they want you to do. But underneath it all, we know what vibrates within our soul. So I've pulled all these cards already. I shuffled, got everything ready so we wouldn't have to take the time to shuffle. We're just going to go through this. And this is how I do my readings for, think of it like I said, like therapy. It's not a fortune telling. I do not tell the future. Nobody knows the future. You are totally in control of how your future unfolds, in an essence of how you respond, what you do, the information I give you, what you do with it, whether you listen, whether you say whatever. The channel is just meant to guide you and help you, kind of like horoscopes. People want to be upset, oh, that's just the people trying to tell you future. No, the horoscope is based on astrology, based on planets and things of that nature. It just tells you this is how it could affect you, so be prepared. When I talk to you, this channel is about well-being. It's about the tarot. It's about astrological things, planetary things, things that are happening energetically around you that could be affecting you or could have an effect on your life. They've been studying astrology for thousands of years. There is an effect that certain planets have, positions, the earth, solar flares, like Mercury retrograde. We just came out of Mercury retrograde, and this one, but it's not just, oh, Mercury retrograde happens, this is what happens exactly. That is part of it, but it's also what else is in the sky or what time of year. So this last Mercury retrograde was in Cancer, and Cancer is about your emotions, your home, your groundingness, your fluidity, because it's a water sign. So water deals with emotions, and during Mercury retrograde, it is about pulling out the things you don't need, reassessing how you feel about things. So this fragment of time was giving you the opportunity to, and what happens, which people don't like, is it pushes all the things up that you are shoving down and not dealing with. So during this period, you may have evaluated what you will tolerate, what you want to do, how you really feel about something. And what happens is, through the frustrations, through the miscommunications, through the travel mishaps, things of that nature, it kind of pokes the hole in your perfect little, I'm holding it in a box, because then you're like, it's driving me crazy. And you say, or spit out, or unload what you really feel sometimes. And that can be kind of frustrating because you think you've got it all under control, and the universe is like, you're holding on to stuff that you need to let go. You're holding on to things you need to let people know. You are holding old things. You are thinking in old patterns, and they are hurting you. They are possibly deterring you from success, from pulling in what you need. You're living in guilt. You're living in anger. You're living in fear. And you can still live a full life, and that program, that little section that's hurting, or programming of how you're supposed to think, or that piece that's damaged, somehow it's still kind of all going through the wiring when you're making decisions. And sometimes we make decisions and we are our own worst enemy because we don't realize it. We don't realize what has been hindering us or getting in the way. We see things from our family. We create patterns. We do things that comfort us. We become comfortable, and we don't want to shake the boat, or we don't want to change things up, or I have a structure of routine, and I like stability. I'm a Taurus, but then I'm a rising sun of Leo. So I have a tendency I like the balance, but then I get bored and I need to do something random or have fun, go away. So I have to be careful not to get into a rut. Like I said, this is my thing. So your sign will also determine a lot about the coreness of how you function day to day. Not that it's going to determine who you are completely, but there are certain aspects that are going to be kind of like when you're born, it makes a difference. Everything is set in stone. So they used to talk about, I don't know where the text is, but they would say your life is predestined as to what you're going to go through, because when you're born, there's a natal chart. It's not that it tells you that you're going to do this, 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 and this. It's that these certain things will affect you, will be a part of your life, and there are a few things, like if you really look into your natal chart deeply, I don't know how to do it. I know how to do a natal chart to show you what affects your life day to day and like all the different houses, but there's a blueprint when you're born as to what you have to experience, go through, learn. There's a north node and a south node. What you're learning, what you've learned, and you're bringing into this life. They all play a factor. Now, it's predetermined what you will be dealing with, but it's not predetermined what you do with it, or how you respond, or where you end up, or what you conquer, what you fail at. You, as the human being experiencing this life, your soul is experiencing life through you as a human vessel. And then together you navigate. So you have a soul that's with you that brings knowledge in, and then you have a human mind, and you have your own thing. So you're like two different entities that have come together to experience this life together. And the soul is coming in at a specific time to learn a certain thing, because when you're born, like I said, there's like a map, a platform of what you're going to be learning and doing. So this that I do is to just kind of help you along the way. It's giving you insight. It's not telling you this is what's going to happen, or this is what I can't predict the future. Nobody knows the future. As soon as I do a reading for you and I put stuff out there, and you do something, you've just changed it, and I'd have to do another reading for you. So that's why I call this an energy read. If you check in to see what the energy is, or you're feeling like it's a little wonky, the readings that I do, that's why I'm doing this spread like I normally do my readings, where I pull multiple cards, because what'll happen is there'll be repeats and patterns, and you'll see, oh, this is what they're trying to say, or this is what's coming up, or like there'll usually be 2 or 3 things that'll show up. So when we check all these cards, these are for humanity collective. So this is a broad spectrum. It could be your reading, it could not, but with it being a collective reading, it's you giving or receiving. So take it as it resonates, and you're going to know if it's affecting you. And when I do the collective readings, normally it does affect a majority of you, or you kind of go, yeah, maybe I should consider that. So I'm going to start with the tarot first. These tarot cards, I also have a describing card that goes with it. So your first card is 8 of Cups. And 8 of Cups is walking away from things that don't serve you. Exactly where we're at. Mercury retrograde has just finished. What did you figure out in the last month or so? What did you notice? What have you seen? The card that goes with it is away and travel. So there's something you're moving away from. Let me pick up those cards. Sorry, we don't want to lose the cards for the thing. So there's something that you're either traveling to, going away to, or what you're walking away is going to require you to travel. So maybe you have travel plans. You are, because it says away and travel. So I feel like maybe you're going to be removed from something, or you already have plans. It's moving away from something. It's movement. Okay. So I think maybe what might be happening is that you're going on a vacation, or you're going, because this is a travel one. That's funny that it makes me feel, here's your card, like they're going and traveling somewhere. They're walking through the countryside. And when this says away and travel, there could be travel that's coming in for you. There could be an unexpected trip. It could be also that you might need to get away from all the stuff that's making you crazy, so maybe you can think clearly. I don't know if you guys have trips planned, or, you know, it's the end of August. It's going to be, this month is when I'm recording is August. So August is very much about camping, going away, having a vacation, because usually we go in the winter and then this is the summertime. So there could be some travel that's going on. Or, like I said, you may have to move away from something that's no longer serving you. Maybe you're getting a new job, you're deciding to move someplace. It's movement, which is great because we need movement. And then you get Ace of Pentacles. This is a new opportunity, a new thing that will be giving you security. So Ace of Pentacles is about your tangible physical world. It's your material things. And it's saying fluid and flexible. So I feel like it's building. This is one thing that's coming up in my head. You may be getting a new opportunity to do something, to be a part of something, but it's going to require travel, movement. Or this walking away from something could be that this new opportunity that's coming in will make you have to leave a job, or leave a situation, or leave something, even if it's not that far. It just might be that you're moving or traveling away from what you presently are doing at this moment. So we could have some change coming in. You could be offered an opportunity. You could decide that you want to do something different. You want to learn a new skill or a class, or you're opening up a new business, or you get a new job, or offered to you within your company, but you have to go somewhere maybe for training, or you are moving up. So they're saying, oh, we have a position, say in a different location or a satellite location. Are you interested? You're going to have to move or be going to a different place. Okay. So that's cool. There's some movement. Oh, this is beautiful energy. 9 of Wands. So 9 of Wands is wanting to give up, active and movement. There's something coming in. Guys, you're going to be moving. You're going to be going places, doing things that have been stale. Oh, that's what it is. This quiet time that we've been in, get ready. Things are moving, and that's beautiful. I feel the energy's good. Like, I'm feeling a vibration of like, whew, like, yay, something new. We're moving, we're doing things. So 9 of Wands is about, you've been through the ringer and back, and you want to give up, and it's saying don't give up, you're almost there, because then it's active and movement. And I've been feeling this. If you've watched my videos and you're not new to here and you've seen it, it's been a very slow, stagnant, kind of melancholy energy, probably from through the winter into now. And I just said to my husband before, we were just talking, like, man, I hope something's going to get moving soon. I feel like the energy, I was just saying the other day, I feel like it's coming in the fall. Like something is, like, we had to go through this. There's the 8-8 portal, and it's actually 888 because it's 26, year 26. So today, when I'm recording this, is the Lion's portal, and it's very, very, very energetically charged for motivating you toward your thing. It's an acceleration of whatever you are focused on. It's not about, like, if you're manifesting, it's what your intentions, what your mind is focused on, where you want to go, if you believe you should be there, and it's an extra motivation. And I feel like you've kind of almost wanted to give up, like, forget it, nothing's gonna happen, it's just been going nonstop, I keep hitting brick walls, blah blah blah. And I feel like this energy that's coming in is like, don't give up. You're almost there. The movement is coming. We have eclipse on the 12th. And I think that is an activation for the next, like push to pull us into the next thing. Because remember we said 26 is a slow moving year. A lot of stuff going on. But for progression and movement forward, it was slow. But I'm feeling in my knowing, I can't explain it, that fall in our next month, we just have to get through this month, that these gates and these portals and these eclipses and things are like the activation point of starting it to finally, like, okay, whatever you've put into, because you have to consider too, Mercury retrograde just before all this is helping you to cleanse out all the stuff that you don't need, because technically the 8-8 is a portal and it's an energy that picks up. And I feel like what I've been seeing too, and what I'm feeling, is that you can't take certain stuff with you. And if, or you want to drag it, and if you can't get rid of it now, it's going to feel like something's being ripped from you. I don't know if that's going to be, I'm hoping not. I hope that you do the work and you can release the things. And this is what I'm feeling. And this is where I think the reason it's been so quiet is that when it comes, it's a relief, not a like, oh my gosh, now I got to do that. I think that we have all gotten to the understanding as a collective. We have pretty much figured out where we want to be, where we don't want to be, that we've been forced in the hangman position to sit still, to not move, to not do anything, to just really be able to sit in our soup and cry in it. Okay, and I don't mean to be dramatic, but that's what I feel, because when I was going through it, I got a little like melancholy, pissy, like just really like, what the heck is going on? I want to move forward, and the universe is like, no, you can't move forward yet, or you haven't done the work, or you haven't let go of things. So this month is just like, I think what it is I finally have had it. And I think that's where we had to get, like, fine, I'll do the work already, kind of like a kid stomping their feet, like, oh, I don't want to do the work. But you're ready. I think that we've gotten to that point that, like, okay, enough is enough. Okay, I'm going to clean out the house. I'm going to clean out the things I don't need. I'm going to remove the people that are just draining me. I'm going to set new goals. I'm going to just finally do it, because we've been exhausted. And I think the change that's coming in, we had to rest. We had to recuperate. We needed downtime. And we have been, since the energy changed to Pentacles energy, which was about 150 years ago, our society, I don't know about other societies, but America has programmed us that we should be going nonstop. Go, 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 go. Work, money, go here, go there, be a part of this, be a part of that. Blah, 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 blah. I mean, just filling you with everything. And I think people have finally realized you do not need to be going 24/7 to live a complete, full, happy life. Sometimes you just need some quiet time, or some time to read, or time to ponder the thoughts of life, you know. But we get so busy, and we allow ourselves to get pulled into the idea that we need everything, which then also makes us spend more usually, or spend our energy, and then we've agreed to things, or we're a part of things, and we're just mentally and physically becoming tired, exhausted, too much. It's becoming a burden instead of an enjoyment. Then you've got the King of Cups, which is about doing things and mastering things within your emotional state. So either you are needing to, or you have gotten to a point where you're living in a balanced feminine, masculine head, mind with heart space, that you're making decisions more balanced, you're loving more balanced. And then it says slow delay. So I think this is something that has had to be worked on, and maybe we were doing, either you were too emotional when you're making your things, or you were just too logical. And this time was about bringing everything into balance, that you're not just masculine and you're not just feminine, you are masculine and feminine. Masculine rules the mind, the logic, that's why they say this is the analogy. I'm not saying all men think within the box. They're more logical, you know, eat, sleep, poop, you know, they just, it's a routine. And women, they say, are feminine because we feel with the heart, we cry, we feel our emotions. But then when you become too masculine or too feminine, it becomes disruptive. You can't make logical decisions, or you're emotionally distraught, or you're so logical that you become cynical, and you just don't have compassion. So in this time period, this slow delay has allowed most people, I'm really going to say this, I think a lot of people have had a change of heart, and they're trying to balance between what's right and wrong, but also what's compassionately happening. Like, how do the people feel? Yes, this is what's supposed to be happening, but how is that making people feel? So I feel like the changes are coming. You're leaving some things behind. You've almost gotten to the point that you want to give up, or you don't know what to do. So you're just kind of like going through motions, and you're like, man, something's got to give, you know. I'm trying, or you might have been working for things. Like I said, this could not be your message, but this is a collective read. So I really think that we're at a point where we need to start coming into a place of removing what doesn't serve us, not holding on to everything, doing what makes us peaceful, happy, content, and full. Because when we, each of us, are content, full, and where we need to be, we are vibrating, like we talk about, at a higher vibration. And when everybody starts vibrating at a higher vibration, because we're finally focusing on what we need, not what everybody else needs. And listen, there's a point of helping people, but sometimes you cause more tension in the world and the people around you when you are not balanced, when you are not vibrating at that higher frequency, when you're not taking care of yourself, because then you're shooting out all that projection energy, and you're upset, or your body's not well, or someone has to take care of you, or you're being mean, or you're being over emotional. Like, it's not that you can't do that, and you have every right to be where you need to be, and we all grow and change, but it's that when we start taking care of ourselves, we start helping everyone around us. That's why they say change starts with you. You have to start changing who you are, what you send out into the world. And as you start sending out good stuff instead of bad stuff, or projecting your traumas or things you refuse to deal with, you start projecting out healing, love, compassion. And I'm not talking about ookie pookie love. I'm talking about just compassion and love for humanity and human beings, living things, humans, animals, plants, the earth. When you start having a conscious awareness of what you could be doing or what is happening to people, and being aware of the impact that it has, it changes you, and it changes the world. We cannot change the world if everybody's just helping everybody and not doing anything, and we're all damaged and we're banging into each other energetically. It doesn't do any good for anybody. So sometimes you just have to be like, I'm sorry, but I have to heal myself, because I can't heal anybody or help anybody if I'm destroyed within and I'm just functioning on fight or flight, because fight or flight is not going to do anything for you. All right, so we're going to start going through the cards. We're going to see what they have to say. Like I said, they've all been pre-shuffled, so we're just going to kind of touch on it. This one might be a little bit longer. I apologize. So your question to ask yourself, am I clear on what my soul really wants? And this is a big thing. We get told what we want, but do we really know what we want? I know that I know certain things, but sometimes my life has been so busy, so nonstop. Do you know what I wanted? I just wanted to survive and pay my bills and take care of my kids. That's not a soul purpose. That's a life. So as I've grown, and as my life has changed, and I've awakened to certain things, I have said, well, what do I really want? What do I want that's going to bring my frequency up, that's going to be something I love, not just going through the 9-to-5 grind? So it says, take out the shoulds and the limitations. Get out of your head and pay attention to your heart's desire instead. You'll know. And you just don't want to listen to it, because a lot of times that programming tells you, oh, you shouldn't do that, or that's not good. And this is what just came to me too. Rating yourself based on world standards will only, like, it's like comparison syndrome. What's good for somebody else may not be good for you. If you don't want a lot and you like a simple life, then that's what you do. It doesn't make you successful or unsuccessful. You get to choose what you want. Sometimes we have limitations in certain things, but you choose, do I want the new car? Do I want all the house? Do I just want a simple life? Do I want to go fishing every day and just pay my bills? And I'm okay with that because I need a more peaceful life. It's okay. You need to make a life that is conducive of the best energy for you. And don't worry about your mom, what she says about it. Don't worry about your people in your life that think you're either a lazy or you work too much. It's nobody's business what you do. And it's none of your business what they do. So when you start living your own truth, your own soul mission, everything falls into place, because the ones that don't agree will fall off, and the ones that see you doing something that is lifting you up and vibrating, you'll pull in those new people that will support you. So it says, if you knew it was impossible to fail, what would you do? Wherever you go, go with all your heart. So don't go into something like, well, maybe, if you feel that this is something you want to do, you go in with the energy that you're going to do it. You're going to get there. It's going to be good. Okay, your next one is know your worth. Keep your standards high. Yeah. This is the same thing, not letting other people determine who you are, knowing what you really are worth, what you want to do, what you want to say, how you want to live your life. We also do it to ourselves. We said this the other day. We do bad self-talk. You need to be gentle and love yourself. You need to understand that we're human. We make mistakes. We don't do things right all the time. And sometimes we have to learn through mistake, learning through trial and error. So it's saying know your worth. Don't allow yourself to be compared to people, or don't allow yourself to be mistreated or not taken care of because someone says, oh, well, I'm worth more, or they might not say that, but they're going to say my needs are more important than your needs. And you might have to say, no, both of our needs are important. So let's see if we can accomplish it together. Okay. Not one person's more. That's where you get the imbalance of give and take. Your next one is ebb and flow. So just know life is going through an ebb and flow. You're going to have times when things are good. You're going to have time when things are not good. You're going to have busy times. You're going to have slow times. Knowing that nothing stays the same. The tides in the world, in the earth, that happen on the earth, they go through a cycle. And it's a circle, not a square. We talk about this. It's a cycle. Nothing's going to stay the same. The tide's going to come in. It's going to come out. It's going to come in twice a day, actually. It goes in and out, in and out. And it's just going with the flow of things, because it's not going to stay like this, because eventually the tide's going to come back in. And then it's going to go out. And then it's going to come in. So I don't mean to be like repetitive, but a lot of people get stuck in, I want it to be now, I want it always to be, and that's not what's going to happen. There's going to be times when you're a little dry. There's going to be times when you overflow with, and you need to just not get so upset. Just know, okay, this is a dry time, or this is an abundant time. Maybe be rational. Don't overspend, because there could be a time that's not, or my energy is kind of low, so I think I'm gonna rest, instead of pushing yourself, because there'll be a time when I'm okay and I can do more stuff. You might be dealing with sickness, things of that nature, mental illness. Listen, mental illness is real. It can be traumatically induced, or it can be chemically induced. There could be changes within your life, in the environment. You could have changes in life situations that can cause mental distress. Deal with your mental distress. It's not going to stay like this, but you need to address the problems that are showing that maybe you could deal with. All right, so we have duality. Yeah, there's two different things going on. I feel like the duality is kind of like the ebb and flow. There's multiple things. There's the plus and the negatives, and I think it's all happening right now, or being both your masculine and your feminine. Attraction. So you could be attracting some new things in when you become that dual energy. It lifts your frequency. And then you've got emotion. So making sure that your emotions aren't getting in the way. So we've got duality, attraction, and emotion. So I think there's some stuff that you need to be not allowing to get too out of control. Knowing that emotions could be playing a part. especially if you're dealing with past traumas and you're trying to purge and do your shadow work. Shadow work is dealing with traumas or things that may have hurt you that have kind of sitting and getting lodged into your body. That's what kind of blocks some of your energy centers too. If somebody's hurt you and you haven't acknowledged it, or you didn't want to deal with it, so you just shoved it down, or someone really hurt you. I mean, somebody could have hurt you and they don't even realize it, and you might not even realize how much it hurt you. There can be trauma from your childhood that is hurting you too. You have to deal with it. You have to express it. You need to release it. Sometimes just talking to somebody. That's why psychology is so, it's important. And what I do in mine is that when I do your reading, is why I call it tarot therapy. Sometimes it's releasing it, because I've had people come in and we start talking and they feel comfortable, because as an empath, your guides will tell you in your mind, this person is safe. You can tell them what you feel. They allow you to release what you've been holding in, worried about judgment. And when you release it, many people say, wow, I didn't even realize I felt that way. It's the realization that it really did hurt you. And that is when you can start fixing it, accepting it, analyzing it to see what you need to do to change it. There are things that happen in our childhood that we might not even remember that are playing in our head. If you want to find them, you can find them. But you have to be willing to feel it again. Accept that it happened and then process it. Feel it, process it, but then you have to release it, because if you hold on to it, that's why we're in survival mode. Your brain will make you survive. That's why if things are too traumatic, your mind will just be like, nope, they can't deal with it. Put it in a different sector of your brain. But it's still there. And it's still kind of flowing through sometimes, so it will affect you still, even if your mind is like, oh, no, she can't know that. That will put her over the edge. And the body overall is about homeostasis and surviving. It's just the way nature works. All right, that's why the seeds get thrown out, and there's special ways that things do it, things evolve, because it's about survival. That living things want to survive and keep going. All right, passion. Do what excites you. Get fired up about your life. Increase your energy. Yeah, this is about growing yourself. This is about doing your soul's mission. I think that's what's really coming on board, and this activation that's happening today, because we're doing this reading on the 8/8 portable, and I'm getting very warm, so they're definitely here. This activation is telling you, go after what your soul wants you to do, because that is the key to getting to happiness, to contentment, to like that glow up that they call. Celebration. A positive outcome is assured. Celebrate your success. Enjoy the achievements. There's things coming in for you, babies. As a collective, things are going to start opening up. All those delays, all those mishaps, all those things that didn't come through, they're going to start accumulating and popping out in people's lives. All right, you are worthy. That's the second time. So someone out there in this collective is doubting their worth, doubting their value, feeling unappreciated, or that they're just, I'm just down here. No, you are a soul that is chose to come live here. You have a soul purpose, a soul mission. Take your mission seriously. Know that you're here for a reason. If you weren't supposed to be here, you'd have died in your mama's wound. You would have been gone. You would have died already. You would have, if you filled your purpose, whatever. You're here for a reason. You're here to do something. You're here to show people something. It could be for one person, but you are worthy. Second time it's come out. Yellow rose. Enthusiasm and friendship. A single rose can be my garden, a single friend in my world. So there's probably some friendship, some love, some things coming in, excitement. I'm feeling like things are going to be exciting. Things are opening up for us. Things are going to be like that dull stage, I think, is coming to an end. And this portal is like, okay, whoa, we'll open up the doors and everybody can finally go, oh, wow, this is cool. Or finally you get that phone call. Finally, you get the job. Finally, you decide what you want to do. Finally, you're where you need to be. Okay, so that would be an awesome thing. Elevates and invigorates. Orange. So, yep, you need some, I think we just need to get a spark in our butt again. Nurtures love for self and others. The worthiness, loving yourself. It's the continuation of what we've been talking about. Releases limitations and discomfort. This is that, like, not knowing your worth or feeling like you can't do the things you need to do. And they're saying, no, 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 this energy's here. It's exciting. It's open. You are living in that self-doubt because that's what's been told to you. Oh, you can't do that. Oh, you don't have enough education. Oh, that's not for you. Why are you even doing that? Ignore that. What you want to do is valid. I don't care if you want to paint polka dots on things and sell them at the store, and that's what makes you happy, that you love polka dots. It sounds stupid, but there's something that you love to do. There's something that makes you happy. There's something that fills your soul. If you just like to read books, then read books. Enjoy your life simply. Or find a job where you can read books for a living. There are jobs that you can read books. You could be an editor. You could read books and be, what do they call them? Like, they judge them. Critics. Oh gosh, it's the morning. All right, so do what you love. There's no limitations. You can do it if you want to. And don't think that anything that you want to do is stupid. Now, it could be stupid to somebody else. But if it's your passion and you think you... Try it. All you can do is fail or succeed. There's only 2 outcomes. Who cares? Try. See what you can do. Okay, these are 3 cards. This is the T, and we've got the Tarot Therapy one, so we'll put these together. All right, keep it 100%. Honesty, showing true colors, transparent intention. So be honest about what you want. Be honest what you are, what you want, what you're going for. I feel like it's being true to who you are. Being 100% is like, yes, I'm 100% for it. So whatever you're going for, be 100%. Be all in for whatever you want or what you believe or what you're doing. And then graduation day, leveling up, lessons learned, acquiring wisdom. Yes, that's what I think is happening. We have gotten to the point where we are finally figuring out, no, you're not going to limit me. No, I can be that if I want to. I can be anything I want to. And it's okay. If it bothers you, then don't come in my circle. That's kind of the energy. And having the ambition and the time right now, you can be what you want, dress the way you want, present how you want, be whatever religion you want, live with people, without people. You can do what you want. And you can still survive and live and be content and happy. Everybody needs to be worrying about, sorry, my nose is itching. I think it's allergies. Everybody needs to live in their own thing. Stop comparing yourself to people. Stop trying to be what everybody else wants. Stop trying to live up to the Joneses. Who gives a shit what the Joneses have? You get what you want. If you want a 4-wheeler, then you get that 4-wheeler because you want it and you're going to use it and you're going to enjoy it and it's going to be like, woo, I love riding the 4-wheeler. But not everybody's going to like that. But some people buy it just to say, oh, look what I have. You know, don't do that. Buy what you want. Experience life the way you want. If you want to travel all the time and you want to live in a trailer or travel home or whatever, you do what makes you happy. Not everybody needs grounding. I'm not grounded. When it comes, I'm grounded in everything in my life but my living place. Like if my husband said, hey, you want to go live in Florida? Sure. I'll pack the bags and we're going. I don't need it to be in a certain spot. But other people, they don't even want to leave the area. So you have to do what's good for you, because if you stay grounded and you're a flighty person and you need to go and see things, you're not going to be happy. You need to listen to your soul. You need to listen to what makes you on fire and stop ignoring or stop listening to all the people that tell you what you're supposed to do. They're not you. You do what you need to do. And then body shaming, low self-esteem, negative body image, feeling judged. Well, that's life. There's going to be someone that thinks you're beautiful, and there's going to be someone that goes, ugh, yucky. Don't worry about it. You be who you are. If you want to lose weight, if you want to change your identity, if you want to change your hair, you change it for you. You do not change it to fit or be anything unless that is something that you feel, okay, maybe they're right and I would like to do that. But if you feel comfortable in your skin and you don't, or maybe you are struggling to lose weight, or you have a certain, facial structure, or, whatever it might be, you be who you need to be. If you want your hair to be purple, then you do purple hair. If you want your body to be round and curvy and loving and you think it's cool, don't let other people make you feel like you need to be skinny, because skinny isn't all that, okay? Only reason I don't have as much weight is because of my health. That is why I don't mind being a bigger person. There's clothing, there's things, and I have been super tiny most of my life when I was younger, so having a little bit of meat on me was kind of wonderful. I kind of enjoyed it. So you have to be who you feel comfortable. And not everybody's going to be skinny. Not everybody's going to be heavier. Not everybody's going to be tall. Not everybody's going to be, little tiny people. We all are unique. So you start living in who you are. You accept who you are. And if you do something, you do it because you want to better yourself, or you want to feel better, or you want to heal. Okay? Something in relationships. Okay, there's something in relationships with you guys. Make sure your relationships are good, that you're being honest. That was part of what's coming back to me, being honest. I feel like it's dynamics. So know that right now. Watch your dynamics. Look at your relationships. Be aware of what's happening. Being honest. That's why I said there's an honesty. If someone's making you feel belittled, tell them, I don't appreciate it. And you can think anything you want, but this is who I am. You either accept me how I am, or we need to move on, or we need to separate. Because when someone's putting you down and manipulating you, that's in the form of narcissism, and that's controlling. And you might be beautiful, but they don't want you to think that, because then they become insecure that you could leave, or somebody else might think you're beautiful, or you might get too strong and wonderful. And people that are control people, they don't want you to think you're awesome. They want to be able to control what you do, how you think, how you are, to help and serve them. Okay, so there might be somebody that's dealing with some codependency, or you could be the judgy person. Remember, this is giving or receiving. I am being selfish or self-centered at this time. There you go. You need to be centered on healing yourself, but if the only person you're thinking about in the sense of compassion and whatever, like I said, the narcissism, I feel like this is partly, there's something going on where there's a dynamic where one person is super needy or very controlling, and the other one is being manipulated, or feels unworthy, or feels like they're being used, or they're not important and they're not worth anything, and they're believing it, and that is not good. I am not in love with my partner, but I don't want to leave because I'm comfortable. So yeah, maybe there's something going on in a dynamic where you've just become so comfortable and there's been nothing and a reason to go. Just be careful, because there could be something that could come in that could destroy or could break that comfortability, or you're not getting the fulfillment by just staying in a stale relationship or a stale friendship. If it's not turning you on, or you're not in love with that person, or I feel like you're losing something, or you're settling, where there could be something better for you that would support you, go in for you. All right, and then with love, we have deception. Somebody is not being honest, and that doesn't mean they're cheating on you. Somebody is not being honest with how they feel. And with these other cards that came out, it could be that someone's just, they're losing something, or they don't feel something and they don't know how to say it. So they're living deceptively to a degree. Deception could be just not sharing their feelings of how they feel, or how things are bothering them, or how things make them feel, or they could be not telling you what they really feel and they really love you. There could be, deception is not being honest about something, or being reserved or closed and not sharing. That's still deception. You are smothering me. So someone's being too much, or someone is like stalking somebody, wanting too much, or somebody needs some time alone and the other person is just like so hooked into them, so codependent on them. And then I'm learning so much from you. So there is another part of the group. So I think there's a couple different portions of the collective. Being honest in your relationships is causing a problem, because I think there's something going on, and there could be people cheating. I don't know. That's gonna happen, because it's a collective reading. But as some people are growing and learning, there's some people that are being deceptive, or there's another agenda going on in their life that they're not being open about. And then there's the other one of being smothered. So someone's being a little too much or needy, and it's affecting the relationship. Your High Priestess card is Nut. Celestial Mother Divine design, empowered surrender. Yeah, I feel like this is surrendering to what is. And this is accepting where your soul needs to go. I also feel I'm being pulled to the relationship. It's the surrender that you actually need to do something different. It's been something you've been fighting, holding on to, not wanting to let go. You're finally like, fine, I can't fight it anymore. I don't know what it is for you. It could be an addictive relationship. It could be a relationship in general that's not working, and you just kept trying and trying and trying, and you're like, I can't do it anymore. Like, you just wanted it to work. It could be like somebody has a codependency or an addiction, and you're the opposite person. You could also be to a point that you surrender to what you really want, who you are, how you want to express. This could be even your sexual preference. If you've decided, okay, I've tried to be straight, or I've tried to be, X, Y, and Z, it's not me. And you're just like, okay, I'm gonna have to be true to who I am. That's the other part of this. I feel like it's an acceptance and a surrender to what is. And accepting it, not fighting it. Finally, like, okay, or not like beating the dead horse, I guess they say. That's an analogy, like, it's done. Like, you have to just surrender, or you're trying to do something and the universe is like, no, no, no. And you just keep trying and trying and trying, and finally you're like, okay, fine, I'm just gonna let it be. That's the opposite. Either there's something that you're holding on to, or there's something that you want and you can't get it, and the universe is like, no. And you're just like, okay, fine. So you're gonna give up, or you're gonna be like, whatever, All right, fall solstice. Yes, this is their times, 6 months. So within 6 months, there could be something unfolding for us, because I feel like the fall solstice is going to be when the energy starts pushing into what it needs to be, and then the 6 months could be what is going to unfold from this time, because 6 months will take us to the middle of winter. Okay, so there could be that progression, and then mourning. So there could be something significant with the mornings, the beginning. And maybe that's what it is that the beginning, the beginning of a new day is going to be in the fall. Now, this is how it could possibly go. And it's going to take 6 months, or within 6 months, you're going to see the fruits of it, or it's going to start happening, or it could take like 6 months for it to all unfold and become what it needs to be. All right, something must die for rebirth to occur. You may be holding on to something that needs to be released. There's an ending in your life. Yeah, that's that thing. I told you there's something that's coming that needs to end, and something new to replace it. You may be needed in someone's life. Be open to helping out. You may need to be a mentor. Okay, so this is like the King of Swords. So there's something going on in your life, and maybe there's a change because you need to go into a new position. You're needed as a new person. There's something that you're doing that could be, now this is for a part of the collective. This isn't everybody. You might be transitioning into a new place, a new thing. You could become a boss. You could be going from being an employee to a boss. And this is going to start progressively happening in the fall, that it will progressively become something within 6 months, okay? That it's the beginning, the morning of something, or something could happen in the morning. But I just feel like you have something that's finishing for a group of us, and then there's somebody or a group of us that will be moving into a different position, which is going to be like leadership. So it could be like you could take over a group, you could become the president of something, you could become a manager, or move up to maybe assistant manager, and then it maybe will progress to more. But it's moving into something with more responsibility, or a leadership, or an overseer of something. So you'd be like a mentor, a person's training and working with people. Hard work or an effort is needed in your life right now. A garden thrives when it is tended to regularly. Something in your life will not just land on you. This is what we talked about. The universe is saying, we have this opportunity for you, but it's not going to just be handed to you. And the energy, this is a continuing energy. It's that you're going to have to put the work in. You're going to have to choose what you want. The universe isn't going to just be like, okay, poof, we have this for this person, or we have this for this person. They're going to be like, okay, we have these things right here. Which do you want? And you have to grab, or you have to go for, or you have to nurture. They're saying, we have the opportunity for you, but you have to choose. You have to figure out what you want. You have to work toward whichever hand you're going to be taking from. That there's this or this. And that is something that's very hard when we just don't want to make decisions and we don't know what to do. And the universe is like, we're not doing it for you. So you have to choose. And by not choosing, you might put yourself down a path that is not what you want. So make sure you are choosing what you want in your life right now. Power of the sea. Inside of you resides the power and strength of the sea. Let the energy explode out all over the world and crash all over the place. Water can be one of the most powerful sources on earth to transform any surface or thing. We're transforming like water. And I told you, when we become a higher vibration, it pours out. But it also pours out when you're a crappy person and you're not dealing with things. And when you're low vibration, that pours out all over the world too and can be just as damaging. Last card, guys. We finally got there. Sorry about this being longer. This is your card to finish the reading. Live a life that makes you happy. Listen, I pulled all these cards out before we even started, and actually this was like the second or third card. This is the whole thing. Live a life that makes you happy. Choose to do what you want, not what others want you to do. Take accountability for your life choices and the life you choose to live. Amen. Let it be. This is exactly what this reading was. Take all the pieces and all the things that you have in your life and start living a life that makes you happy, that's for you. And start taking accountability for the choices that you make, not blaming other people. Well, I can't do this, or my mother does this, and I can't do... No. Live your life completely knowing that you have taken the steering wheel and you are driving the truck. Okay? Guys, I hope this will help you. You live your most true, authentic life because that is what's going to bring you happiness. Have a great day.